in those moments. On the ground. What is that?
Tonight we're running on the right track.
Hey everyone, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can tell by the title, I am doing the roommate tag. So I am joined by my roommate. This is the one and only, the legendary Betty Gomez.
Hi.
Hi. Fun facts about Betty. She is the director of a women's ministry.
I am.
She makes all things beautiful. She's good at makeup, hair, decorating,
Yeah.
setting a table. If you need something to be beautiful, Betty can make it beautiful. And she really loves the Bible, and she inspires me, and she's also really wise and really good at forgiving people and extending grace. I just got really
I'm just feeling all the warm fuzzies right now.
I didn't plan to say all that. I just love you.
I just love you too. This is gonna, like, I think, like, people are gonna just know how much we love each other through this challenge. I really do.
It's not a challenge.
Oh, is that
It's a tag.
Oh,
So
it's
it's not a game. Nobody wins. We both win.
We're already roommates.
So we are going to be doing the roommate tag. This is like an old school YouTube video that's been around for probably like 15 years or something. So if YouTube's been around that long. So we have some questions here. I know your password because I'm your best friend.
You do? Yeah, you really do.
Okay, so question number one, we'll just be answering these together, but I'll refer to you if you want to take the lead. Okay, number one, did you know each other before you became roommates?
Well, this is a fun story because
We did not
know each other the first time we were roommates.
Well, the quick version of the story is Betty and I work at a Christian ministry.
Yes.
So she was already living with Hope and Lizzie in this house that we used to live in, the iconic house that Lizzie owned. And I was coming into the community because I wanted to start my own program and do the Wider Lens video project, if you were around for that. So I just needed housing. So they set me up with a room in the house that Betty lived in, and so nobody knew me, and I just kind of moved in, and I was never anticipating becoming friends with any of them, but we all became best friends.
We did.
I
that was
really
the
never
best
thought.
thing ever.
I just assumed you guys already had plenty of friends and wouldn't need to be friends with me.
We wanted friends. We wanted legit, deep friends, like genuine people who love well, and you love so well.
Oh, thanks.
You do. And I think you're just a friend who knows how to pursue our friendships, and you invest in them. You're a really good friend.
Thanks, Betty. Thanks. I think Hope is also to credit for a lot of it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So then, we'll get to question two eventually. So then, after living there for 5 months, I went to Southeast Asia for 3 months.
She went to Asia. She left us, and I thought I was never gonna see her.
Really? I left all my stuff.
You left your stuff, but then I was like, people in our community, people are so transient that I was like, oh, she might send someone to get her stuff. I don't know. And I was just like, well, it was a great season of knowing her.
I always planned to come back. I guess Betty didn't know I was gonna come back. And then I was there for several months, but I decided to move to Atlanta. And then
that's when I thought, see, she was not gonna come back. And I was so sad.
But we stayed friends. You visited me a lot.
That was fun, yes.
Yeah, and then I decided to take a job back at the ministry, so I moved back. And that was hard because I went from living by myself to living with 5 people, and that was kind of an emotional season for me.
I remember that.
I was like, Betty, why do you have wallpaper? Like, she had this, like, do you remember you had wrapping paper and you like shoved it in a corner, and I got so mad. I was like, why would you put that wrapping paper?
That wasn't my wrapping paper.
It wasn't yours, but you put it there. And
I remember
And
this.
I was like, why would you put that there and not just put it away? And you're like, I don't know, I don't care. Like, you're crazy. And I was like, I know I'm crazy.
I don't know the side of Julia. But you know what? This is the good thing.
I had an OCD season.
Oh my gosh. That is so true.
Yeah.
OCD season, yeah. But I have to say, I think I've like known you at like your really, really great healthy like seasons, and I've also known you in the season that was really hard, and I still love you every season.
Thanks, Betty. That's true. That's really true. One time when I was in a hard season, I would just cry all the time, and I just started crying, and Betty's like reading, and she's like, Julia, why are you crying? And I don't know. And she's like, okay. Wanna talk about it?
Yes.
I was like, wow, she just really accepts me for who I am.
Yeah.
So So then our house got sold and we moved here in June. That's the end of, that's a really long answer to number 1.
Yes.
Anyways, question 2. What was your first impression of each other? Oh my god. What are you gonna say?
I remember I was sitting in the sunroom.
Oh, like first
Yes, is that what we're asking?
Sure, whatever you want to say.
Okay, so she walked in with her parents, and then I was like, oh, like, I don't know, like she looks, her parents are dropping her off, and I was like, is she gonna fit in with us? Because at that time, my other 2 roommates were a little bit older than Julia, so I was like, I hope she likes us. Because then I was like, but then, that was like my first impression. But then, she just fit right in. And then she was just like, I'm going to the lake with my dad. Do you want to come? And I'm like, she's just inviting me. She doesn't even know me. And I just felt like immediately you were just inviting me to your space. And that was the day when I was like, I like this girl.
Aww.
Yeah, seriously, that was the day.
That's so funny you thought I was like, oh, like a young, like I wasn't an adult because my parents were moving me.
Well, yeah, because I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know how old you were.
That's fair. They just live an hour away and they want to. It's funny because I did not want them to help me because I kind of felt like a chip on my shoulder, like I don't need help. But they were like, no, we want to help. You're in a.
But they were so kind and they were so nice, and I think it was I was just a little bit nervous at first because we didn't know, and then you just were like the missing piece puzzle to our roommate situation.
The missing piece puzzle.
And you came in, it was just so much fun.
I don't remember my first impression of you.
You were busy moving in.
I mean, I remember that day, and I was like, oh, this, I think I thought you were like, probably, yeah, like same thing, I thought you were like older than me and fabulous.
Right.
Which you are. Okay, what do you most commonly argue about?
So I don't think we've ever had an argument, like, but I remember, I think it was just like,
we argued when I went through my OCD season, we argued about cleanliness.
Yes.
But you were so nice about it.
Yes. But I don't think I would call that like an
It was more like me being mean to you.
And I was just
One time I got mad at you because you bought me Jimmy Dean sausages.
Oh my gosh.
Which are pre-cooked. And she put them in the freezer because she didn't know they were pre-cooked. And I woke up the next day and I was like sleepy and being mean, and I was like, where are my, Biddy, where are my sausages that you bought? And she's like, oh, they're frozen. And I was like, they're frozen?
Why would you put pre-made sausages in the freezer?
I said, why would you do that? And she was like, that's what I thought was right. Yeah. And I was so mad. And Erica was like, Julia, they'll cook. It'll be fine.
I didn't realize she said that.
She was like, they'll cook frozen. Like, just put them on the skillet frozen. And I was like, okay. And then I apologized to Betty. I said, I'm very sorry I was rude to you. And she said, thank you very much. I accept your apology. And I was like, that's why I like you. Because she's such a good example. Like, I was mean to her. You can't just say like, oh, it's fine. Like, anyone else would have been like, it's okay, whatever, it's fine. But it's not fine. I was rude.
Yeah, and I think it's also empowering you as my friend to take ownership of whenever you do like hurt someone else's feelings. But you didn't hurt my feelings. But I think it was good for you. Yeah, you were rude. Yeah, you were rude, but I also knew the season you were in, so I wasn't offended or hurt. But it's good for you not to say it. But it's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
I was in this season where I was like frustrated with my the way my life currently was, and I just like wanted to control things. So I was trying to control like my space, like make everything neat. Betty actually like sat me down and like explained that to me. She's like, this is kind of what I think is going on. And I literally was like, no, that doesn't really resonate. I don't really think, I like believed myself. I was like, I don't really think that's what's happening, but like, thanks for your opinion.
Thank you. You can go to bed, go to your room.
But I was like, I mean, I hear you, but I don't like think that's right. But it was very right. It just took me a minute to figure that out.
It's okay. It takes us all a while.
But do we argue?
I don't think.
I mean, we don't like.
Can we talk about last night?
Yes, tell that story.
Okay, we don't argue, but yesterday I was washing dishes, and there was like this, you know, those reusable Starbucks cups, and it had like a thick brown black layer.
Yeah, like so she was washing it and then nothing moved. It was like.
And I was like, what is that? So, but I did not say that. Can
I like, yes, this is Betty. She's like doing the dishes. She goes, Julia, what is that, Julia? Julia,
My Spanish comes out in those moments.
breathe, so I'm like not responding to her because I can't breathe, and she just keeps yelling.
I'm like, what is that? It was gross. And then she goes, she's like, it's coffee that's been in my car for like...
I just like left the coffee cup in the car for a couple of days, so it got hard.
Yeah.
And it washed out just fine. Like it was
did.
fine, but it was so funny. Julieta!
But I also want to say, I think the reason why we don't argue is because whenever there is like kind of like what you said, whenever I sat down with you, we like choose to have those conversations whenever it's kind of like maybe there may be tension. We choose to have conversations and not ignore it.
We're very comfortable with conflict.
Yes, I think that's it.
And just so when you're very comfortable with conflict, you tend to have less.
Yes.
Because it just doesn't feel like
Yeah. And I think you make it really safe for me to be okay confronting you for something.
Oh, good. You do too.
Thank you.
Because I know you're going to handle it really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I really believe that's why we don't argue. What's happening? Oh.
What thing does your roommate do that most bothers you?
Oh.
Well, let me just say,
Go ahead.
if it really truly bothered me, obviously I would have already told you. So
Yeah.
if anything I say is just like kind of not a big deal.
Yeah. I don't think it like necessarily bothers me, but Julia sometimes likes to talk to me whenever, so we live in a townhome.
This is one thing we argue about.
So she talks to me when she's down, like just chilling downstairs, and I am just like, Julia, I can't hear you. So she has diagnosed me as having selective hearing, which I don't.
I didn't say selective, I just think your hearing's not as good as mine.
No, that is not true, because before we started shooting this video, she was upstairs and I was talking to her. What did you say, Julia?
I said I can't hear you.
And I said, wait, what was that?
And I was like, love, I started like yelling louder. I was like, oh wait, you're making fun of me, aren't you?
No, I wasn't making fun of you. I just wanted her to understand that whenever I'm peeing and she's talking to me, I can't hear
I was literally peeing, and so I couldn't hear you over the sound of me peeing. But you can't hear me. You'll be like standing there doing nothing, and I'm like, Betty, Betty. Last night I was talking on the phone, and I was talking to Jake last night, and I was like, let's do an experiment. Betty, Betty, Betty. After like the 10th Betty, she's like, what? And I was like,
Okay, wait a minute. But I was brushing my teeth.
I was just trying to prove to him that you couldn't hear us.
I was brushing my teeth. But so I think
So anyways, I have better hearing than Betty.
No, you don't.
I think one thing that bothers me about you is you talk loud on the phone and I'm sleeping.
Oh yeah.
That's always like
Wait, when did I do that?
all the time. But I'm too tired to say anything and then I forget.
Oh good. You forget, but now I know.
I don't. What do you think of your roommate's YouTube? So what do you think of me being a YouTuber?
I think number one, it is awesome, the bomb, and I think he just talks about, yeah, like you're confident and you share like your life with people, and I mean that to me speaks confident. Wait, I have to say this. This week we were just chilling outside because we work in the same office but different, same workplace, different offices. And this girl, yeah, different departments. This young lady comes up to us and goes, "Excuse me, can I interrupt y'all?" Do you remember this? Yeah. And then I was like, sure. And then she goes, I just want to say, like, I follow you on YouTube. And she's telling Julia, and she's just like saying how she like decided to do the world race because she followed Julia. And so going back to the question, what do I think about my roommate being a YouTuber? I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Do you have a roommate agreement or a set of rules? We do. We do. We didn't write them down.
No, I think before go ahead.
We had a long, like 2-hour conversation before we moved here. Not the other times, but before we moved here from the other house, we sat and talked about our expectations. Like little things like how we're gonna wash the dishes, like how we wanna spend our time, like how we want our house. Like, do we wanna have friends over? Do we wanna throw parties? What do we want? Do we wanna talk in the morning?
That also, let's see. And then we also...
Oh, you did write them down.
I wrote them down. We talked about what we wanted this house to be.
Yeah.
So we wanted it to be a house of peace, rest, and celebration. And we're doing that.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say definitely a celebration, but also definitely rest. Definitely peace.
Yep, and we said we wanted the weekends to be like just Sabbath.
Yeah, except for when oh my god. And then we talked about rent.
Yeah, we talked about rent. We were all, I think it's just like, I think we were really good at communication.
I'm glad you wrote that down.
Yeah.
What is the best memory you have with your roommates? Savannah, Colorado.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Peru! We did Peru together!
Yes.
That was it.
That Peru is like the
We
best
traveled
one.
really well together.
Yes. We did.
Oh, we had an argument on Peru.
Yeah.
When I was a little quick with her about, we were like doing math and she didn't get it as fast as I did, and I was like,
not good with
I was like, you need to
numbers.
get it faster. And that was a little bit of, but that was an argument. She was just like, that hurt my feelings, and I was like, oh shoot.
But see, I feel so
Sorry.
safe to let her know, and she was just so quick to apologize because I knew that was on her heart. But I also wanted her to know that that made me feel like a little bit like, or my little heart sad. But it was like it was just like we had the conversation and we just like, yeah, it wasn't even like weird at all.
Because you know, problem solving when you're traveling is like high stress because you're just tired and frustrated, especially when there's math involved.
For me. Yes. Wait, my other favorite memory is whenever Julia moved in, and this is, I think it's her heart that she just wants to include people and make spaces fun. She said, how about we make breakfast once a week? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that was a favorite memory because then we were all coming together and you created that space for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. You got a lot of memories.
I loved when, oh my gosh, I loved when so the weekend Jake came for the first time, like I'd never met him. She spent an hour helping me pick out all of my outfits.
That was
So, I was like, I love you. And she did my makeup.
Oh, that was such,
came.
oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Cause just seeing her makeup, like it was like such a sweet, like just memory, like, and just hearing your excitement for you to meet Jake and just how you were thinking and processing and what, like how you were feeling. I was excited for you to meet Jake. And then I met Jake and I'm like, I could tell why she was excited because he's awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on my show today. My show?
Yeah.
My channel. Thanks for Okay.
Can you say that again?
No. Okay, comment down below and tell Betty thanks for coming and let her know if you want her to make a YouTube channel. And if enough people say yes, she'll make one.
Yeah, I will, because Julia has been asking me to, and yeah, if y'all want me to, I'll do one. And before we end, I pray that you get to have awesome roommates like Julia and I do.
Yeah, and don't be afraid of conflict.
Yeah, it's great.
Be quick to forgive and quicker to say I'm sorry.
Yes, and have so much fun.
And have so much fun and throw parties.
Yes.
And don't talk in the morning if you don't want to talk. But some people really need to talk, and if you're one of those people, you should find other people like that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel if you have not. Leave us a comment. As we said, give this video a like as a thank you to Betty for being here, and we will see you in the next video. Will you be there? I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
And if you want it, come and get it. Cry